My name is Rhys Millen.
This is Rhys.
People call me Mad Skills, the Kiwi.
Mad Skills, Rhys Millen!
I'm a drifter.
Strap on in and get that beast sideways.
I come from a racing family. My father, Rod Millen, is a legend in motorsport.
Rhys? Oh, I won't drive. Kid never listens to me. Wait!
He holds the world record at Pikes Peak. Now he wants to drift. So I built him a car to see if he can qualify. My brother Ryan is an off-road man. Rally, Baja. He's a good competitor. Driving is in my DNA. In 2005, I won the Formula Drift Championship, but the road to victory was far from certain.
I just hate being in this position.
2 weeks before the final event, I had a 51-point lead until I hit the wall in Chicago and wrecked my GTO. Suddenly, I was just 11 points ahead of my closest competitor, Samuel Hubinette. He's a great driver and a good friend, but there was no way that I was going to let him win. He already had an awesome car and a hot girlfriend.
Yeah!
Another wild card was my pull boy, Tanner Foust. He had moved in for a few weeks, a few months ago, and had just about overstayed his welcome. If his car problems could be solved, he had a real shot at winning too.
People like carnage. Yeah. So what are you gonna do?
The GTO was an awesome car, and Team RMR did a great job preparing it for the season.
What's the point of having radios if they don't use them?
These guys were an interesting crew of big personalities and raw talent. We had our issues.
It's fine now, but it should have been right before we got here.
But on race day, the drift was on.
Competition in our family. It never stops. There's always competition. We've never run heads to heads. We've never run
In the same car, the same class, in the same race.
This will really be the first opportunity. Dad's car produced about 375 horsepower to the rear wheels, which is 50 horsepower less than mine, but weighed in about...
Less than yours, 50 horsepower less.
For the record today, 50 horsepower less than my car. I'm looking forward to today, sitting back and watching. Who knows, maybe I'll learn something about the sport or the car setup. It's going to be fun. At Irwindale here, we have two big challenges. Obviously, holding high up against the wall at the end of the straightaway there, you'll clutch kick it and run it up high. You have 5 control pylons here in the middle of the course. Flick back here and then flick it back and run down against the wall. Connect the bottom two. So there's a lot of challenges, not only for the driver, but for the vehicle setup. A lot of challenges even for a developed team. And here we are, day one with this little gem.
Ken and I go back 20 years. Ken was Mazda Motorsports manager, so he and I worked together for 10 years. So how was the car there, Ken?
You'll find out.
Hasn't slept for 4 months.
Looks cool, doesn't it? It looks great. I can't wait to drive it.
Good morning.
Wakey, wakey.
How you doing? Rod is somebody, it's so interesting to know him and talk to him now because I grew up idolizing the guy, so what an opportunity. What time are we getting out? Is it gonna be 10?
Yeah, I think they're gonna have a driver's meeting right now, actually right now.
Okay, drivers, let's gather up. What we got going on here today is a practice for Formula D. How many people have not driven at Irwindale before?
It's had 2 laps in the GTO.
That's enough.
1 and 3.
I give you credit. We're gonna give you guys like 20 minutes to get your cars ready, and then we're gonna get you all out on the track.
Rhys, 6-speed.
Yeah.
How many gears you got?
6.
You got 6 too?
Uh-huh.
This is not 6.
This is 5.
Yeah, that means I'm already one.
Lighter, faster.
Oh, is that how you're looking at it?
I don't have to shift as much.
I got to go into the shop and check out the new RX8. It is done right. The steering angle they got out of the car, and the RX8 typically is something that you're not supposed to drift. It doesn't work very well because it doesn't have a turbo, but they basically built the engine bay from scratch.
You know, I never had a name. It was amazing to be Rod Millen's son, but at the same time a lot of pressure to be successful and to produce results. I think it was more of the opportunities, the doors that he opened up that's responsible for me being successful not only in motorsport, but I think in business as well.
I didn't believe it could be this good. I don't want to let him beat me, you know, I want to race him hard, and we don't expect it to be that great straight out of the box. I'm sure there's going to be room for improvement, and that's going to take a little bit of time, but it doesn't get much better than this.
I think I'm more nervous than he is. This is 30 plus years of experience doing what he's doing. I'm used to doing that as well. Sitting here like this with my dad in the car, I think now I know what he feels like when he comes to watch me race. He's going to fifth, not third.
There are a couple cars out there that are super loud, and they just look fast, and they make good smoke, and that's one of them.
It looked like a guy who's been driving four-wheel drive for 15 years. He did exactly the same thing that I did when I first hopped in a drift car. And I know in his situation, he doesn't want to be bothered right now, or else he would have stopped here. He just needs to figure it out for himself. Look, it doesn't even squat. Barely, it does. I know, that's insane. That's definitely driving on the edge. What about the shock bumps? Stop.
As far as, how much
Are they in there?
Yeah.
Pull them out.
You know, most types of racing, you get to go put a few miles under your belt as you learn what the car's all about here. This one, you know, I think I've put 3/4 of a mile already on it. Suspensions just seems too stiff in the rear. You can break traction pretty easy to initiate the drift, but the other end of it is you can't regain traction real easy when you want it to. The reason the guys are making some changes is we see if we make it stick a little better.
This bump stop sits down in between here. We're thinking it's limiting the shock travel. The two spins that he had out there wasn't driver error. It's a matter that the car is not getting any lean, so the spring rate's going to infinity. So by eliminating the bump stop, we should get some roll in the chassis, should get some grip, and he'll be able to attack it.
If I can just get to the point where I feel comfortable in the car, that'll be a big step today. Rhys has got a huge amount of experience in this type of racing. Maybe some things I can bring to the table here that can not only help out this car, but help out his program as well. And that'd be very cool if we could do that.
Let's get back out on the track. Go tell him that he's a fucking old man, he's fucking slow, and fucking needs to get his shit together. You feel like the grip went away then, or what?
Yeah, I was a little tired.
And you're done?
Yeah.
Really?
I think.
It's your deal. I think he needs to take a break. I think we're going backwards right now rather than forwards, and I don't think it's the car. He mentioned he was just tired. You know, hasn't been in a race car for a while and hasn't been in this heat. You know, just sitting here waiting. Probably needs to cool down and take a bit of a break and then attack it.
I think the car's doing a lot better than I expected. So I just got to get confident with it. Listen to what Rhys has got to say. Can you believe that? Listen to my kid. Don't tell him. A lot of kids don't take after their old man. I'm very, very fortunate.
We need to keep this thing running. It's bubbling.
Yeah, Rhys should be my mechanic, you know. He was today. Car definitely made some improvements after Rhys's guys changed all the rear end and made it stick a little better. It's definitely getting better. I need a bit more time in the car to get a little more confidence.
Now with this guy coming up to speed on his first day, I gotta look out for him too.
It might have been getting a little hot, so I'm sure they're going to check that out.
The hose was actually touching the exhaust manifold, and with the heat that the turbocharger and exhaust manifold produces, it actually heated and melted a little hole, and water was actually seeping out of there, and we never really noticed it until the last couple of runs. The power fell off. It got pretty hot in those last couple of runs, so hopefully it hasn't damaged the engine. So now we'll pack up, we'll head back to the shop, we'll go through it, make sure it's good. Not too long, because the guys have got 3 days to finish off the GTO, and that's the main priority. Sorry, Dad. He might have been a little nervous today about driving this car. I was probably more nervous about the car functioning 100% and him not being disappointed in the vehicle that I've given him. I didn't sleep much last night. So yeah, all in all, I think today was great. We haven't run the car for the last 3 weeks or so today is very important. By the end of today, I think we'll be on top of things. We'll have a good direction of finishing it up for Wednesday night and getting it ready for Thursday morning. Wow, there is still a lot of work to do. I've been out of the office for 2 weeks and I really expected it to be a little further along than this. Today is crunch day. I typically like to have a car prepared a week before we're going to the event. There is no need to be thrashing the night before, getting ready for event. That's typically when mistakes are made. What you see here in front of you is a car that still looks like it's damaged, but all the pieces are sitting around the corner. They've already been painted. We'll put them on. The superficial side of things will be taken care of, and then Scott will go into the left rear here and repair the arm that was the major damage to the chassis.
When you hit the wall, I just said, I guess we're up for a late night. It's not the first time I've seen that. It's not the last time.
Chicago's incident was a letdown. It was a big mistake, not only in damaging the car, but you know, we went from a 51-point lead to now 11-point lead going into the main event, the final.
The steering pump has to be changed. I need a new cooler, the control arm, obviously. Everything on this car's basically special order. It's not just sitting in at your local GM dealer.
I just hate being in this position.
Okay, box it up, ship it.
Yeah. Frank is a unique individual. He has a lot of experience. He's worked for many, many motorsport teams. He is incredibly talented, but very, very stubborn. At the end of the day, we gel, but there's always the arguments that keep it exciting throughout the course of the day. Yeah, you shake your head at me now. Keep shaking it, buddy, keep shaking it. Although we have kind of been the team in the past to produce the results at Irwindale, we have made a lot of changes to the chassis this year. We've had some slight heating problems in competition where you've had to run 4 consecutive laps back to back. We're just gonna take a necessary precaution and we're gonna put extra louvers in here. That's just gonna allow even more volume of air to be released from the engine compartment. We don't want to take any risks of a mechanical failure at this event, and we're here to win. When the air hits the front nose, it shoots so vertically that the radiator, which is set back 4 inches off it, sees no air whatsoever. Put in this plate, and now we hit the air at this angle, so our whole radiator opening is exposed to fresh air. Every part has a function here. This is for the cooler that you see on the front of the car for the power steering. And then we have these side plates on the front fenders. They also keep the car from understeering at the extreme slip angles that we're seeing. Effectively, what these side plates here do is they keep the car straight. They actually act like an air brake, like a stall. and we put this little edge on here called a canard, and it actually will peel the air back and actually stop the car. The car is constantly at a 15-degree drift angle. Bring in a wing like this that's already set at that angle, and now your airflow is coming over here. Now you're getting your downforce to drive you forward. Will it work? Well, I don't know. Sounds pretty good in theory. Maybe I should make a phone call to a guy who gets paid to figure this stuff out. And this wicker here, similar to what a NASCAR has on the back edge, so if they spin, it'll actually straighten the car out. We've done it to the front, so if you're sliding too much, it'll straighten the front out. Although they may not be in the right locations for what you see on typical motorsport, but it works because drifting is not your typical motorsport. Nearly all year long, we've qualified in the top spots or the top 3 spots. And all of these little tricks are what give us those advantages.
To me personally, I think it's stupid. I don't see any sense in wasting a bloody good set of tyres. I don't understand it. Every time Rhys says to me, how did I look? I don't know. I don't know, what am I looking for? I don't understand the sport. I work on the things, that's about it. I mean, I'm not out there dancing in this thing.
So what's going to happen with Rod's car?
Rod's car is basically going to get covered, put over it, and that's it. The car will not be doing this weekend's event. You know that way. Ken spoke to the engine builder,
Yeah.
who told him that that engine would not take any power.
So the engine on this did get damaged when it overheated?
Yeah, this one's done. It oil temperature maxed out at 270 degrees. Peaked at 270.
Put bigger oil coolers on it.
By the looks of it, it's definitely not going to happen.
I know, and I know how temperamental they are. I'm not going to call Dad. Ah, that's a bummer.
They're working on the front bumper. We've got the rear bumper to mount, rear window, and then all the wings and stuff that Rhys wants to throw on it.
I can handle this if you need to do that arm. You know, for me, I like to be hands-on with the car. I know enough to get myself in trouble, and I probably know enough to bug them as well. It's very critical at the same point to have the confidence that they're done their job right. And so when I hop in the car, I switch that off. I'm now in the car, I'm a driver. I have to focus on that.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you combine speed and metal and concrete together, stuff likes to get bent. It bent this trailing arm up pretty good. Basically, I think what I'm gonna do is just cut the ends clean off of the stock piece, just like I did on this one.
What's your specialty?
Metal fabrication, welding.
Making the boss mad.
Yeah, pissing him off. I'm gonna take this over to the bench, basically inspect all the pieces, cut the heim joints out, the female end, get those all nice and deburred and everything, and then start grafting them onto the new piece.
What's Samuel doing today, do you think?
Samuel? He's probably taking his sweet little Swedish girlfriend to breakfast and then gonna go play tennis. And then he'll probably lay out by the pool and he'll call me at lunchtime and see if I wanna go to dinner or something. Because he's just a driver and he's got lots of free time. And he doesn't have to worry about working on his car when he wrecks it like me. Scott's just finished up the rear arm. By the end of business tomorrow, we should be looking pretty good. I'm happy with how much work's got done today. This will be the last time I see the car. So I need to leave here today with the confidence that the guys have everything inspected, changed, and loaded. So yeah, I better get back to work.
Telling them it's kind of nice when everything goes back together again and stuff, you know, everything lines up and.
Scott? Yeah? Come here for a sec. Why do these just look different heights? Look at the gap between here and here, and here and here. This looks a lot lower. Couldn't you make two new plates and correct that? To me, it looks like the spud is sticking out.
That doesn't matter.
It does matter. It's not a matter if it doesn't matter. It does matter. Yeah, no, I got no problem with that. That's fine. But if you've made new plates here, surely you must be able to adjust those plates now because you've got so many adjustments to get this right, to allow for that.
I mean, that's why it's up in the air and that's why we're fixing it. I haven't known about this problem.
Scott, you've been working on it all day. All I did is came by and pointed out and said, fix it. Don't
About it.
No, but you've been working here all day and you hadn't seen it. You haven't taken a measurement to fix it. I came up, noticed it, and I just told you about it. End of story, fix it.
The bent up arm that came off it?
Scott, I'm not concerned about that. There is an issue, you fix it. That's all I'm pointing out. Yes or no? Is that correct?
Yeah, you bring it up to my attention, but don't make it sound like I've known about it.
You've been working here all day. I just walked up and noticed it. All I'm asking for you is to fix it.
Okay, that's
Well,
my
do
job.
it. Don't argue. Fix it. We'll have a talk after this race. My mind is still in the shop. I don't think you ever leave a business behind, and you definitely never leave a race car behind. I moved to the US in 1990. You know, my father had been pushing me to come over for a number of years. You know, I was 17 years old. I was just starting college at Orange Coast College and working for Dad. My dad took the skills that I picked up at Orange Coast College and had me building his race cars pretty much straight away. I was like, Dad, I got to do my homework. And he's like, oh, I need you machining till midnight tonight. We got to get this done for Pikes Peak. Before I knew it, I was building my first race car. I had customers calling me after a magazine article was done on it. We want the exhaust system you make. We want the downpipe you make. We want the strut bar you make. So I took orders and then started making them myself. And then hired someone to help out. And here we are now. We have about 100 products that we make for the aftermarket industry. It's a fun business to be involved in. And over and above that, you get to come out on days like this and beat on other people's cars. Miatas, Nismos, Nissan Zs, Porsches. This is gonna be fun. It's Wednesday, we're at El Toro Air Force Base. We're here today with Speed Magazine, Road and Track.
The setup for today is we're trying to find out what's the best production drift car, you know, right out of the box, off the assembly line.
And there's nothing cooler than trying to drive a car sideways.
Myself and Alex Pfeiffer will be driving the cars. He's a tough competitor, he's a good friend, and he knows how to wheel a car. So what do you think of that? 3 runs per driver. I do 3 laps in this car, you do 3 laps in it.
We have 2 boxes in the car today. The V-Box 3, which is our typical everyday testing unit. It gives us speed, velocity, etc. And the Drift Box is specifically recording drift angle.
So you'll have a consistent runs through the course and be able to get data worthy of comparison. If we go heads to heads in competition,
he's done. That's it.
Whatever, dude. See this? Yeah, it's gonna be a fun day.
We called a bunch of manufacturers and said we were evaluating their cars. And
like Alex right now is evaluating the Miata. Oh, evaluate it a little too hard.
For me, drifting is kind of like wheeling a bike. When we were all little kids, everybody would like pop a little wheelie. Like, oh, look, Mom, I'm cool. But then there was always that one kid that would come up and pop a wheelie and he'd like ride the thing all the way down the street. That's what we do. We're the little kids that pop a wheelie with your car and go down the street and continue going.
The steering is great. It's just wheelbase is a little short and power is lacking. Plus the cup holder and the door is terrible. So the challenges of today are going to be sliding around the Porsche and sliding around the NSX. They're mid-engine cars, they have a lot of power, but they're designed for grip. Oh, that's coming around. Yo! That's why no one drifts a mid-engine car right there.
I tried second gear, and as soon as the motor torques up, the wheel speed kicks in so much that you don't have control over it.
You have to be so clean. As soon as you get aggressive, it's gone. You can slide it quite easy, but you have to find that sweet spot. Your slip angle is very minimal. Yeah, you got to be gentle with this. I'm gonna go cool it down. The temperature's a little warm. That's pretty smooth. So what's up? The 350Z?
Yeah.
It's just such a predictable car. I'm surprised that you don't see more in the drifting series. I think it's the only car right now that picked up lap after lap consistently. This may be my pick for number one.
Rhys drives with a lot of angle, but his car doesn't take the typical drifting line. His car is real dramatic when it is sideways, and he can get a lot of smoke, and he can put the car wherever he wants to. The car is designed to drive sideways.
All the fun days work at the office. I was just initiating with a slight steering input, and the car's got that much power that you can just override the traction, even on this surface. Steering angle, power, delivery. That's how we do it, GTO style. That's why I race it. It's a great stock vehicle. One of the challenges of today will be tire wear. This surface is a military-grade asphalt. It's very, very abrasive, very gritty. For a standard street-going DOT-approved rubber tire, if you get them hot, they'll probably last about 6 miles and they're done. I think I just found my new number one.
How do you like the grip on those tires?
Incredible.
Isn't it?
You know what? My only complaint would be it gets hot very fast.
Yeah.
Maybe because the manufacturers didn't plan on it to be driven this way.
They build enough steering lock into it, they should damn well figure someone's going to get it that sideways. I don't think I've ever hopped into a car before, not ever had any experience, and just felt so comfortable, so at home, so natural. We're running on a Yokohama Neova tire here. The grip content of this tire is a huge advantage over the other tires. After the end of a competition run, that's how it should look. We've got 2 cars to go, and we did that one in 45 minutes, so we can be out of here in an hour and a half, which means I can be swimming in 2 hours. Actually quite shocked. I actually thought the Porsche was going to be pretty tricky to drive. The feel of the steering, the weight transfer, even through the S's here, complete control. Our biggest challenge all year has probably been the potential threat of Samuel. Every event I've gone up against him heads to head, he has had such a huge amount of forward traction, and I'll have to see if that is the case even in the production vehicle. Why would you ever want to drift one of those pieces of junk? There's nothing I like about this car so far. You could never do the reverse rodeo in this thing.
That's true.
Okay, don't capture that one. Your angle is not as aggressive as the Porsche or the BMW or the GTO, but it gets through the course. It's somewhat predictable once it takes a set, but to get it there, you're holding your breath and gripping the wheel. It's not overly impressive, but it definitely does it. You just, son of a, okay, right there is why I don't like this thing. Samuel can keep the Viper, for sure. If you went easiest to drift, I'd probably go M3, 350Z, GTO, Porsche. If you went for forward grip and competitive drift car as they stand, I'd go M3 GTO Porsche 350Z.
Same, you concur?
Yeah. Here we are today on a low-key event, enjoying the aspect of driving for what it is. From here on out, suits on, helmets on, eyeballs looking straight forward, serious. What a wake-up call. Yesterday we were driving production vehicles, multiple turn steering, very soft and wallowy on the transitions, and now you hop into a car that's just built to do everything. It's like a go-kart. You turn, it turns. You come to Irwindale, you have a home court advantage. To date, we've had probably the best 2 or 3 results, but I'm not stopping there. You know, we've made a lot of changes to the car, and it just feels better and better.
The fact that we're in second in points it's just amazing, because the way we started the season was really tough with a non-developed car. The fact that we actually have a chance to take the championship is amazing.
They replaced the motor, and this new motor had some different cams in it, so isn't it awesome? Like before sunrise, to smell that kind of fuel, and hopefully we get to spin some tires before sunrise.
Welcome here to Irwindale Speedway. Yesterday we were out at El Toro, which is more of like a big skid pad area. You don't have many walls. Here at Irwindale, the cars here are going to be a lot faster. They're modified for drifting. This weekend's going to be pretty crazy, because if you do something wrong, you're going to go right into those walls.
What a way to wake up. Burn rubber, blip engines, and get sideways.
You got your Indy 500, you got your Formula 1. This is Formula D, racing sideways. Oh yeah, details in a live report.
Thursday morning, we've been doing some teasers and some interviews with KTLA.
How long can you idle? A minute or two? Look, he don't like idle.
How long can you idle?
I've been idling for 5 years. Okay, that's what you said. Okay, wait. All right, well, I'm gonna take a ride.
Oh yeah, it's always fun to take people for a ride, because they're like screaming and enjoying it and just giving you a high five.
KTLA out there doing live broadcasts was a great and a big step in the right direction for the sport, and I think it really brings credibility to what we're doing. We're at the forefront of a new sport, and the more and more exposure it's going to get, the more respect it's going to get. Motorsport has become so mundane, so boring, and drifting really brings the excitement back into the sport. The cars are sliding, the tires are smoking, the engines are revving. It's just exciting to watch. Other forms of motorsport, you're just watching the cars going around in a parade lap. The exciting part is right before they crash, because they spin and lose control and the tires smoke. We do that throughout the whole course.
My brain just can't get around doing, 80 miles per hour sideways. And you're in control, and you're doing everything Indy drivers do, NASCAR drivers do, Formula drivers do. They're watching, they're looking, but it's even more complex. Have you taken a ride? No. Oh, girl, grow some nuts and go.
It's great for not having driven the car for 3 weeks to hop straight in it and just feel that at home. It's a good mindset, it's a good comfort level going into this weekend, and I'm gonna have to watch this boy because he was looking pretty fast out there too. Tanner is an amazing driver. He comes from a similar discipline as myself, of a rally background moving into drifting. So he's very aggressive, very explosive. He's big on entry speed, big on angle, and if he doesn't spin, he usually pulls it off pretty impressively.
Samuel, you're gonna have to watch out for.
Yeah, he's looking quick.
Full day of testing yesterday by himself. It's gonna be, that's a lot of good track time.
Samuel and I are great friends, but it quite often comes down to him and I battling it out for the lead.
This guy I'm aiming for. The guy in the chicken color suit there, he's mine. I'm gonna eat him. I like chicken.
Samuel hardly ever makes a mistake, very consistent and very impressive to watch. Samuel's advantage is he uses his grip from the Viper to try to out-drag race you off the start line, which is always frustrating because the courses that they set up have these huge entries into decreasing sliding corners. Irwindale's not like that. It's a real driver's course.
In Irwindale, you've got to come up with some different ideas because of the speed. And the speed obviously affects the aerodynamics of the car. And the wings that you get aftermarket all are an advantage when you're going in a straight line. But when you're sideways, they don't do much for you.
Look at this shit. What is this?
We've boxed our wing basically so that when the air comes at the car from the side, it doesn't just get lost slipping off the back of the car. It's actually being used to help keep the car from spinning. So I'll probably go do my routine of seeing how Samuel did and tell him how to beat Rhys, and then see how Rhys did and tell him how to beat Samuel, you know.
I feel comfortable with my car now. We have been developing this car since the beginning, and I have a good momentum now coming from Chicago with the victory. So it made me feel comfortable, and I feel like I have the points to get the championship now.
Yeah, this is not very comfortable today. I just watched Samuel do some runs and he looked really, really smooth. His line was great. Yeah, this is going to be good. One of the reasons this car works so well in the transitions is all the steering modifications that we've done to it. The modifications to the power steering pump, the power steering rack, the knuckles. What we just recognize now is the temp tabs on the oil cooler are actually getting a little too high. And we're taking out pockets in the nose here and in the back to open up this area. So on the direction of travel, all of this air will be traveling through here and getting to the oil cooler.
Rhys gets a little bit weird, especially during testing. And he feels that the power steering needs to be cooled down a little bit more. And it's just a case of you're pleasing, so you just do it, even though it didn't need to be done because the temperatures are actually spot on. So yeah, it's just to please him.
We did a little bit of driving this morning, but we're about to start testing. And the power is way down, and the little bit of driving we did earlier, the power is just off with this new motor. It turns out the cams are just a little bit different than the cams that we had in the last motor. So confidence level is a factor 6.8. I'd say out of 10 right now. I don't like hearing the motor sound bad when it's just even idling here. By the end of the day, hopefully that confidence level will be an 8.2, and by Friday afternoon, hopefully it'll be a 9.8.
Oh wow, that'll wake you up in the morning. Do you see Tanner check up? Oh dang! That'll get your attention.
I looked over in the other mirror to see if you backed into the wall or not.
I was looking for a way out.
This side plate is to generate forward grip while in the slide. What we recognize there, it's actually too effective. If we went into a tandem battle like that, I may run the risk of actually going into an understeer or actually checking up too much. So we're actually going to take some grip away from the car by cutting off this 2.5-inch strip off the back here, which will alleviate some leverage on the back of the car, which will actually slow the car down in a slide. So the concept proved itself, it works. Now we just need to dial it in to make it competitive.
The rear wing, that sort of stuff I leave to Rhys. That's his little philosophy, and I don't get involved in it unless it's a case of, wait, cut this, and then fine, I'll do that. But as far as thinking it up, I'll leave that to him. That's his little game.
Cut 2 inches off the back of here.
Okay.
And then cut these down a bit too. It was a little...
Otherwise you will scratch the wall with them.
Knowing me, scratching the wall, I'll probably short my car up here. The wild thing is, like, you come here this morning and we're playing around as we do, and we're always peering up and pushing each other. It's kind of like brothers. And then you get back here and you see this guy show up and those guys show up.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh crap, I've got to worry about them as well.
Yeah.
These guys are all very accomplished drivers. Tyler McQuarrie, he's driven NASCAR, he's driven American Le Mans.
Alex Pfeiffer's good.
Dayoshi Hara. He's a Tokyo-based guy, and he's pulling out some amazing runs.
Ken Gucci in the Ford Mustang is put on an excellent show this year.
My father used to do drifting back in Japan when he was a teenager, and he's kind of taught me the basics of drifting, and that's where I kind of started.
It's gonna be a long weekend.
Bong, 1 o'clock, and confidence level didn't quite make it up to 8.2. We're actually down a little bit. We've got a totally different problem now. Anything more than about a quarter throttle, and it just starts sputtering. Luckily, we've got, you know, a bunch of bright minds working on it. Got a lot of guys from other teams that have kind of come to help us out. So I'd say confidence level here at 1 is dropping, unfortunately, to about a 4.3, which is bad.
Man, this is a challenging sport. Every time we run this car, we change something. And I don't think I've ever been in a car like that. And I'm not talking subtle changes, I'm talking huge changes, from aerodynamics to cooling to tire cambers. That was good though, the changes that we just did to the wing. See this? Means the changes were very good.
Looking really good in it, and yeah. No, I mean, as long as he's happy, makes us happy.
But at the end of the day, that's the guy I gotta watch out for.
It's a little bit after 3 o'clock. You know, hopefully they're gonna let us run a little bit long, because we won't get another shot at it if they close us down at 4. So crossing our fingers, we'd like to get 2 more runs, and then as many as we can tomorrow.
The car feels brilliant. For not driving it for 3 weeks, it's just a credit to all the hard work the team's done. I tell you, I don't think I've ever driven the car that hard. The transitions were so sharp and so aggressive, but it was just stuck. It was unbelievable. I don't praise myself much, but I finished that run and the arms were out the window, and I was like, that was just a great way to finish the day. So I know all you guys are busy. I know the championship is not decided yet, but after that last run, every one of you guys are responsible for giving me a car that I can do anything with, and I impressed myself on that last one. Let's keep the momentum going, because if we can keep that up, we've got him.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan. Awesome.
Good job. Right now, 6 hours, go through that car and get it ready for tomorrow morning.
You know, it's like hot days like this where I'm really psyched that I'm living at Camp Millen for the time being. So, because I'm looking forward to hopping in that pool.
Tanner's designing every room. What's that room, Tanner?
This is a theater.
This is a theater room. You wuss! You're from the snow, it's warm.
It's cold, you cheap bastard. Put a heater on.
Yeah, see that guy? That's my competition. I was trying to sleep in this morning. It was like 7 o'clock and I started getting texts from like 7 till 9. I was just like, everyone was always talking about this. Dad called me 2 or 3 times yesterday just to see how everything was going. You know, it's really great to have that sort of support. He loves the sport. He really gets it and understands the big picture of how the fans are involved and the respect of the fans to the drivers.
What's the first thing you want to do when we get there?
Take a whiz. How about you guys?
Yeah, definitely.
What's the second thing I want to do when I get there? Look at the car. Make sure that everything that I was asked for is done. I got the guys to modify the wing plate so we can actually flatten it down a bit more in case we do have too much grip. And they've been putting some sort of spray system. Go through the checklist, make sure we're ready to go, strap on in and get that beast sideways. All right. Oh, you got a NOS deal? Where'd you get that, Eric? Oh, okay.
Arrived this morning and they brought over the nitrous system, which I've now installed, and it's ready to go. Push the button, cool the radiator.
Blowing nitrous just at a radiator is really not going to help that much. I mean, but you could have went out and got a water bottle with ice water and sprayed that and cooled it down just as fast. We will not be adding any nitrous at the last minute. Unless somebody higher up tells us to do it. But right now, no.
This one has a lower, now we have one more lower now that we can go down.
So we can go one more lower.
One more lower.
Okay.
Have you taken Stina in the car?
Yes, I have. Yes, a few times. She likes it wild, fast, crazy.
I'm crazy too, so I like speed, but of course I'm worried that something will happen, but I trust him, he's a good driver, so.
And we have good seat belts. It's going to be a little bit less speed because of the heat. We didn't have any heating problems with my car, so it doesn't seem to be a problem. I had heating problems myself, so I'm just going to try to stay as cold as I can.
One of the concerns we have as a drift team is tire temperatures and track temperatures. So we like to monitor the asphalt. In the shade here, the asphalt is about 98 degrees Fahrenheit. And then if you go in the sun, the track temperature, asphalt temperature on the surface is close to 130 degrees. That 40-degree split right there could be a couple pounds in your tires, would make a large difference in handling. The difference between spinning out and having traction is only maybe a half a pound in your tires. And the track temperatures will probably get up to around 150 degrees, something like that on the surface. So it's kind of a vital little thing to have, at any track you're going to. Just another thing to keep an eye on and enhance the performance of the car.
All right, guys. Get your attention real quick. Very last practice session of the 2005 season. I'm slightly saddened that I will not be getting to see you guys more often.
We talked about the safety gear last time. Everybody's been doing a really good job of that, and obviously with the wrecks that we've been having lately, it just shows you how important that stuff is.
Why are you looking at me when you say that?
Well, you had a wreck a few weeks ago.
All right, let's go get them.
All right, guys. We'll see you out.
Got some new gloves?
Yeah, look at these.
Oh, look at those.
These are fast. Look at this. Man, they're good.
What are you doing Monday? Your dad have any plans?
No.
Do you want to come over for a barbecue?
Yeah.
I just figured, get some of the industry people or whatever now that, well, by then all the pressure would be off and
yeah,
ready to just relax.
Relax and enjoy it.
Yeah. Sunday, regardless of the outcome of this event, is going to be a huge pressure release. We'll have to deal with the award Sunday night and hopefully we'll be accepting the winner's trophy. If not, I'll be holding the hand higher than my own of the guy that does. And if I need to be beat, I hope that I'm beaten by my friend Samuel Hubinette. But ultimately, I hope that he's holding my hand higher than his.
I'm about to head out there now and I'm gonna start pushing it harder. Feels good to do one run,
Those modifications to that front were great. That was 12 degrees cooler than yesterday just by doing that ducting.
It's Friday, basically the night before the event. And this poor car has gone through so much. I mean, changing engines and wing on, wing off, all this kind of stuff. So now it kind of comes down to the driver to run what you broke, sort of thing.
Now that we're getting closer to crunch time, I got to focus on trying to get some tandem competition and figure out where everyone's strong or weak. I haven't run with hardly any of these guys in these new cars out at this track before, so this will be fun. guys made the side plates out of the wrong material. Obviously, with the pressure that it's seeing, it's too stiff. This is a Perspex, and we need a Lexan, and a Lexan will not do that. A Lexan is so pliable that you can bend it on itself. And I think just from the pressure that the wing's seeing on the back of the car, it just blew itself apart. I didn't hit anything. I didn't hit anything, not this time.
By lowering it down, we caught air underneath and it just ripped the whole thing off, because we've been flying all day.
Yeah. Watch it, there it is. Just wham! The guys have just headed back to the shop to make the side plates out of the right material this time.
I feel very relaxed now. I had a very consistent test day here, and go back and have dinner and sleep, and I'm ready for tomorrow.
Och jag är imponerad av hans körsätt.
He's impressed of his son. Very impressed. I'm very proud.
We're still working on that first bank. It's kind of a quirky line right up against the wall, and it requires a lot of wheel speed. And slowly we're just kind of having to pull grip away and have a qualifying setup. And then if qualifying goes well, then a tandem setup, because the qualifying setup's not the fastest. The tandem setup will be better to go head-to-head with you know, the likes of Sam and Rhys. Hopefully we'll mix it up and not piss off any friends, but still, all's fair in love and war, right?
All in all, the car's good, and you know, we had the speed and the grip to stay up with Samuel, and that's really what I need for confidence, because if we were in the lead, we'd be pulling away from him, which is a good thing.
Welcome you guys out again. Thank you very much for being here. Right after this, we're going to go ahead and get you guys in pit lane. We're going to practice until 1 p.m. At 1:15, we're going to be doing qualifying.
We want to see a high entry, fast throughout the whole course. First clipping point is going to be really, really critical. And let's show these people what we can do for Formula D.
All right, guys, let's go do it. I love you. I love you all.
The House of Drift. Right now we got 33 of North America's top drifters competing for 16 spots in that tandem battle. In first place we got Rhys Millen in the Pontiac GTO. In second place, Samuel Hubinette, the Crazy Sweet in the Mopar Speed Dodge Viper. In third place, the Phenom in the Ford Mustang, Ken the Goosh Gooshie. Fourth place, we got Daijiro Yoshihara, and rounding out the top 5, Von Gittin Jr. We've been to all the stops, New Jersey, Atlanta, Chicago. It's coming down to this final event.
It's just such an entertaining sport to watch. NASCAR is boring. Who wants to watch people go in a circle the whole time?
Drifting is a combination of the best parts of all forms of motorsport. It's the tire smoke, it's the out-of-control spins, it's the loud noise, it's the cars door-to-door action on each other. It's everything, and that's all it is.
That's why the fans are attracted to it. They can drive similar cars on the street, but they don't have the skill set that a lot of these drivers possess. So there's a higher regard for the drivers.
Rhys Millen's one crazy-ass driver, gotta say. Really highly skilled driver.
Couple different lines, so it gives them an option to pick between them. So either one they like, I'm sure will do well.
Man, am I happy to get that over and done with. There was a lot of quiet times before that, and I needed it. I needed it to be focused. I'm pretty happy. Stick by there. I want to call the old man. What? I want to call Dad. Okay, yeah, it was a good run. Yeah, inside, outside, like inches. Yeah, I think we got this thing dialed in pretty good. I'll give you a call later. All right, love you. Bye.
As long as he's happy, then everything should be okay. Basically, we've done our work and it's now down to the driver. But now we'll take it back and go through it, put some new tyres in it and hopefully get him back out there. But in the meantime, you can still got to watch out for the rest of this lot, because things, I would say, these are good drivers out here and basically competition's still tough.
Really good. It was really greasy and last, so it was easy to keep it wide and hold oval. Now it's just to get ready for the tandem drift. Move against you, Rhys. Darn it, you're good. But we'll go for it.
We just saw Samuel Hubinette do one of the fastest runs I've ever seen. Yeah. It's great to see Rhys step up the bar in the beginning that well, and everyone else is just answering the call. It's going to be a great final event.
That was cool. That was the first time I've hit the wall on the big oval. Yeah. People like carnage. So what are you gonna do? The closer you come to killing yourself, the higher your score. What a sport. Come on. It's awesome.
Drifting fans rock.
What's up, bro?
I got a headache. I don't know what the fuck happened, dude. As soon as I came across that apex, I was full lock and the nose didn't go the other way. And I'm just like, turn. And it was like, no. That happened to me in practice. I saw my helmet actually like come back to my head, dude. The car was running really good. They did a lot of work to get it to the position that the car was in, and we had a really good opportunity to do good. One more beer.
Sorry about that. We're about to find out the top 16 qualifying positions. Not that I need to, but if Samuel and I were to meet each other in the final, right now I need to out-qualify him by more than one position. So if I qualify number 1, I'm looking for him to qualify number 3. So this is the most critical qualifying session of the whole year. By far.
Top 16 introduction, qualifying 16th, Conrad Grunwald. Qualifying 15th, Robbie Nishida. Qualifying 14th, the kid, Ken Gucci. Derek Rogers, Sego Yamamoto, Von Gittin Jr., Tyler McCrory, Slide or Daijiro Yoshihara, Bubba Drift, Michael Peters, Chris Forsberg, Alex Pfeiffer, Big Smoke Ben Schwartz, qualifying 4th, Yukinobu Okubo, qualifying 3rd, Drift you later, dude, Samuel Hubinette. Qualifying 2nd, Tanner Foust. And with that being said, we all know Mad Skills, the car. Number 1 qualifier, Mad Skills, Rhys Millen. The winner of the Urban Racer, number 1 qualifier award.
It really felt good, so I knew I was up in the top. I wasn't sure if I was going to be 1 or 2nd, but 3rd is great too. And I have a good momentum now, and we're going to go out and do tandem drift. It's a total other game now.
This is the first part of why we came here this weekend. Number 1 qualifier, Samuel coming 3rd. We now get 2 more points advantage. We're now 13 points ahead. If we meet in the final, am I going to give him 1st? Not a chance.
How you doing?
How you doing, man?
Congratulations.
Good place to start. Number 1 qualifier.
Oh, shit.
Thanks,
Congratulations.
guys. Thanks.
Yeah, so that basically gives us an extra 2 points over Sam, but it's still a long way to go. I mean, this thing isn't over until the final 4. There's no celebrating just yet. Still a lot of work to be done, and Rhys has still got to try his darndest to get up to the top 4. It's not over until it's over. When it gets dark, then it's close to being over, and as you can see, it's still light, so there's a long way to go.
Going to go up against Conrad Grunwald. This is 30 seconds of anything can happen. Great, you know, that gives me the confidence that we can run really, really close to the other competitors. Qualifying number 1, having a great first round. I'm smiling finally for the first time today.
I see that and I like it.
Dude, now you got to do this for me. Now you got to do this.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robbie. That was fun.
Fucking badass.
Let's see you, buddy.
All right.
I will go against Goosh. It's going to be exciting. He's a great driver, and it's going to be a tough battle.
If Goosh wins, we win the championship.
We're moving forward, and it's amazing, amazing, amazing. I can't believe I'm so hot in ranks from the start we had in the season.
Well, basically, we're seeing everyone really cutting it loose for the final event. It's Samuel and Rhys. I mean, they have such a strong competition and friendship together. They hug all the time. They laugh and joke about each other. They know they're sitting on top, and it's one of them is going to most likely run away with this.
It's my rookie season. I'm pretty sure we're top 10 in the points right now. And man, you can't end the season going up against Rhys Millen here. That's crazy.
Good job.
That was
Good
fun.
job anyway.
You too.
I just got lost in Chris's smoke there. Yeah. And I had so much more speed than him coming off the bank. It was like going to be a good setup for that turn.
I got lost in the smoke. I saw his brake light right there. I kind of felt him graze across the front bumper and then spun right behind him.
Was really, really hard to drift in the beginning in this type of level. So I'm still very stoked. And that the Rhys, my friend, gets a championship trophy, that's awesome too, you know? So I will celebrate for him tomorrow and for myself in second place. So drift you later, I gotta do that because I will drift you later.
Wow. What do you say at a time like this? It's, you know, it's disappointing to see Samuel go out so early on. Advantage Team RMR, and we got the championship. I'm just blown away right now. It's brilliant, you know, to qualify number one. That was awesome, but to come away with a championship tonight is, yeah, there'll be a little celebrating at Casa de Milan.
Yes.
Even though we won the championship, it wasn't over yet. I had to complete 2 more tandem runs to decide who would win the event. I beat Yuki after 2 runs, but the tandem with Chris had some unexpected challenges. His rear bumper caught on fire in the first round, and then I lost my power steering.
We've had this issue before, and at that point I fully understand why we said I'm just not going to risk it, because when they go, they just go.
It's been a very emotional week for me. And, you know, I've watched my father win countless championships. I have never won a championship before. And we got the result that we'd been aiming for all year long. Yeah, it's freaking awesome. Yeah, the team, everything I asked of them today, they gave me. I pushed these guys hard, I pushed myself, and the result tonight is worthy of all that hard work. If you're not passionate about something that you do, something that you're involved in, then you'll never reap the rewards. You can't stop, you can't slow down. Got to keep pushing, because there's always another challenge around the corner.